Well, that's not good. Today, that's what we're working on. That's shifting around a pretty good bit. So this is what we're working on today. You're going to have to forgive the shadows. So this is what you just now saw. This is it broken all the way down. This seal right here is the one that has most likely given out. If this right here, the hub, didn't have any shift in it at all, then all I would have to do is take out to here, okay? But it's got shift in it, and I'm gonna have to remove this right here. So unfortunately, that means I'm gonna have to go all the way back into here and tear all this apart today as well. We've got to figure out, I would have already ordered the seal, but there's shift in it, meaning there could be bad bearings. So we're gonna have to figure out exactly what's going on. So today's project, we are tearing this down. Well, at least I know it still had some oil in it. So the bearing blew out. The thing is I know I wasn't out of oil long enough. When it ran out of oil and it started blowing oil, it started leaking oil, I didn't drive it. I mean, all I did was literally drive it back up to the house, but I literally put oil in it first to make sure that it still had oil in it. So I knew it was possible that I didn't see it, but I didn't feel that I had driven it long enough for it to blow oil out. For it to have blown the bearing out. So I feel like, and y'all tell me what you think, I feel like most likely what happened is the bearing blew out, and then that caused my seal to go out from the movement in there. I don't know that for sure. Anyway, that's what somebody else had suggested. So regardless, I'm going to have to replace both because there's not supposed to be that much movement in there. Whenever possible, I like to make sure that I put bolts and nuts back in the same spot every single time. You just don't ever know. I mean, you're going to have enough stuff that you got to put into a magnetic bowl that you got to put somewhere. The more of these places, the more of these bolts and nuts that you just have in here, the better. Now that we got that off, the next thing we got to do is take all these bolts off and pull all of this stuff off all the way back into about right here before we have to start taking all of this off. So I'm going to have to inspect this better. But I don't see any major, well, any damage really upon first inspection. Everything seems to roll fairly smooth. I see a little bit of wear down in there. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera or not. I don't see anything too major. I'm going to shift around and see what everything feels like. I don't know if you can pick that up. That right there is metal filings. That is a bad sign. Right there, shifting all around. That one's shifting a little bit. That one's shifting a lot. I don't know if they tighten up or not. That one, well, they do. Can't tell if they tighten up or not. These look like they've been, something has been wearing on them. I do not know what. Anyway, as we dig deeper, we're going to know just how much money we're going to be getting into to fix this. Now, your service manual is going to tell you that you need to take loose both sides of this steering cylinder and both sides of this rocker arm. But keep in mind that a service manual is designed to tell you exactly how to disassemble and reassemble whatever project you have. I'm really liking these right here. This is kind of a Knipex style, but this is Icon's version on it, and they actually work really well. Now, to be fair, I've never used Knipex on this specific style, but I know that I would like Knipex. But man, I'm enjoying it, and for the price being a little bit cheaper, I think it's worth having. Don't know if I can get this loose like this or not. What I don't want to do is tear up that rubber. I'm probably going to do if I'm not careful. I'm afraid I'm going to need a pickle bar to get that loose. I prefer not to use heat in these situations if I don't have to. But in this situation, the rubber's already all worn off of one of these, the one that you see me working around. But also, a lot of times when people use heat, they don't really use it right. For one, they think that they have to really overheat everything. You do not have to get this cherry red. Now, in some cases, yes, you do. But always start by just getting it a little bit hot and then seeing if it'll move enough. Well, never mind. Alright, that moved.
So that nail,
Yeah.
that nail that the head came off,
Yeah?
can I just maybe wires pull it out?
Yeah, you can. The book tells you to pull this bearing cup right out. And in another video that I saw, it does come out pretty easy, but it's not coming out easily for me. These bearings look very good. I hate that I have to remove them, but according to the book and everything I can see, I'm going to have to make sure that I replace it. I hate heating this up. I'm trying to put a little heat on it. My mechanic did suggest doing this to get it out. The puller, I don't have the puller. It's a specialty puller. Now, I did go watch another YouTuber, very small YouTuber. I'm going to put a link in here. Y'all check him out. Please check him out as a favor to me, regardless of whether you need this or not. He needs more subscribers. He's doing some really cool stuff, and he's very small, and he's trying to get it out, trying to get himself out there. So please, as a favor to me, get him up to 1,000 subscribers. I tried heating this up to see if I could get it out. I was not successful, but I didn't try really hard because I really hated to get this hot without having to. So I may have to come back to it, but I wanted to try and see if it would come out like this. You see I put some bolts in the holes just to protect, because I hate getting too much heat around those threads. You can damage that if you're not careful. And I put sacrificial bolts in there, not the actual bolts. So we can see right here, I went ahead and pulled this gear assembly out, and I'll show you here in just a minute. This is what actually gives you your four-wheel drive power, is this gear. And I'm able to actually see this bearing, but I'll show you the gear here in a second. But I went ahead and put these bolts back in. You can tell, come in close, you can tell that they are very, very wore. So what happened was this snap ring came off and disintegrated. I don't know how it came off, just years of wear, I guess. And then everything was able to move back and forth, and when it was, it started to shear on all of this. At that point, all of that metal filings probably got in here, and you can see, try to get where you can actually see, there's so much shift. There should not be any shift, very little shift around that bearing. There's just a huge amount of shift now. And then, of course, all of that movement would eventually have blown out that seal and then all the oil. So most likely, all of this started wearing out a while back ago, probably before any of that. But from what I can tell, I'm not seeing any major damage. It looks like I'm going to have to buy a bearing, a new seal, definitely a new snap ring. Might have to buy some new bolts. Other than that, from what I can tell, they look good. So this is the piece that we just pulled out I was telling you about. What we're doing, these are our shims right here. You always want to watch and look out for shims. There's quite a bit of this I won't have to take apart at all. So when you're reading through, anytime you're taking any old tractor apart and you're reading through your book, just because it tells you how to take it apart does not necessarily mean that you need to take it apart. So just keep that in mind. It depends on what you're doing. That's why it's really good actually to read through your book. Okay, but take a look at this. I'm putting white markers at all of these pins and everything. That way, just in case, you know, even if the factory didn't build it to fit a certain way, sometimes after years of wear, this thing's a 1989, years of wear, sometimes things seat in a certain way. You never know. But the gears all seem to look good. Everything fits good. There's definitely metal filings. I'm going to have to clean everything up to get all of this taken care of. If you look over here, you've got these gears. This right here would actually slide. So this would slide down over that, and then all of this would have gone into there. This is what they call the sun gear. I don't know if I can get that out or not. And I like to put it in the same direction it came out. I don't know if it matters, but I just always do. I mean, I can still see the original mill marks. Everything looks very good here. I don't feel any wiggling to my gears. So I think all I need is to buy a new bearing. I can get that back together. This is where you see the real John right here. Get yourself a book. Don't do that first, okay? First, do your research, find the tractor that you want. Second, when you found the tractor that you've done your research and you're fairly certain this is the tractor that I want, then own the tractor for a while. And the reason you want to own the tractor is because even though it's a good tractor and a lot of people like it, it may have specific problems that you didn't know about. Okay, and you want to own it for just a little bit, because if there's a lot of money that you're having to put into it, if it's having an unusual amount of problems, at that point you should probably sell the tractor and buy another one. Okay, and it may end up being another type. Okay, but once you feel like this is a pretty good tractor, yes, it's an old tractor, you're going to have a certain amount of issues. At that point, if you feel like this is going to be a tractor I'm going to own, I'm going to keep this tractor for a long time, okay, and I'm going to try to do a lot of the work myself, buy yourself a book. They're not that much. You can get them on Amazon. They're kind of, they're like $40, I think, something like that. Some of the more detailed books, maybe 60. But before you get into a project like this, know what it is you want to do and start at the beginning of the project, read all the way through it once or twice, okay? It might even help to take a picture of it, put it on ChatGPT, let them read it to you. Let them tell them what you're going to do. Sometimes that can help. Take it with a grain of salt. It is what it is. But read what it is, familiarize yourself, because some things like this, even though the book is telling me to take these snap rings loose, to take a lot of this stuff loose, it's not necessary. I don't need to do all of that. There's a lot of stuff I don't need to do. I don't need to take all of these snap rings loose. I don't need to take that loose. I can tell these gears are good. And that's all I'm actually doing is an inspection job. The book is telling you how to tear it completely apart. You know that all you want to do, or I know all I want to do, is inspect and change, get ready to change that seal, and then find out what's wore out. I can see here the bearings wore out, and possibly some new nuts and that new seal, and I'm good to go. So just keep that in mind. It helps to study through it before you get too crazy with it. It will save you a lot of time and money. And anybody who knows anything about mechanic work knows that you are always one broken bolt away from turning a 10-minute job to an all-day job. Okay, so just read your book. Take yourself 20 minutes, sit down, smoke a cigar, whatever you want to do, however you relax, do that while you read the book. It's enjoyable. It's not that big of a deal. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today.